Hey everybody, this is Mike with Free Roaming Hiker, and I am out here in Grand Teton National Park, and I am doing a short and easy hike. Very little elevation change, and this is the Moose Ponds Loop. It can be accessed two ways. One is along the Lupin Meadows Trailhead road before you get to the actual Lupin Meadows Trailhead parking lot. There is a bend in the road and a little fork that goes off to the right, and that is frequently used for Moose Ponds Trailhead parking. Another way is actually along the Ginny Lake Loop. A lot of people will include this as they're doing the Ginny Lake Loop. So it's a nice way to add a couple of miles on that route. Likewise, if you're doing this and you want more of a 9-mile hike, you can include the Ginny Lake Loop, which is about 7 miles, 7.5. And if you wanted to go over 10 miles, getting closer to about 11 miles, you could also include the String Lake Loop. So you would basically do Moose Ponds to Ginny Lake to String Lake, and all those loop around and connect. So you could have a nice 11-miler there. Not much elevation change at all. It'd be a really pretty hike and a great way to get a few of the lakes. But more directly, the Moose Ponds Loop is a short 2-mile hike, pretty easy overall, and it does pass some ponds where moose are frequently seen, among other things, and most of it goes right along the base of Teton Mountain, which is a pretty prominent peak. It is part of the Cathedral Group of Tetons, and not much else to say right now. So let's check out this hike. As you can see, there is some snow on the ground. There was a storm that came through last night. It's mid to late October, and that's why there is some snow, or clouds I should say, still shrouding the peaks. So normally you can see more or less up to the top of Teton, but right now a little bit shrouded. So this is a loop, and obviously there's no right or wrong way to go, clockwise, counterclockwise. I am currently going clockwise, and that is bringing me along the road. You can probably see it right back there. That is the Lupin's Meadow Trail Road, which brings you ultimately to Lupin Meadows. And well, you can see here, where is it? There it is. A little sign for a junction that goes over to the road, and this is actually part of the Valley Trail. It does use this. It comes from the Lupin Meadows Trail and passes through here on its way past Ginny Lake and ultimately to the junction with the Paintbrush Canyon Trail. So then once you pass that junction, the trail does loop around, and now I'm on the interior part of the loop, where it passes a little bit closer to the base of Teton. And this will ultimately bring me around to the actual Moose Ponds. Those are right below the Ginny Lake Loop Trail, so kind of on the northern side of the loop. Right now, I'm on the southern side of the loop and making my way north. fun little part of the trail. You come out of the forest and all of a sudden you're in a bunch of smaller trees. And the reason for that is not actually because of something like a forest fire, but more along the lines of an avalanche. Obviously, it was a while ago. The trees have been growing for a while, but that is why all of a sudden there's this little clearing and the forest is broken up right here because it was all taken down from an avalanche. You can tell part of the reason is because all these trees are all facing the same direction. They're all pointing this way. So yeah, pretty cool stuff. Okay, so I am pretty much at the moose ponds. That's what this clearing is for, not necessarily an avalanche here, but there's a nice overlook. There's a couple of little spur trails that people have made. Don't see any wildlife right now. It doesn't mean none is in the area, but a nice peaceful area, nice place to relax. And yeah, how about I show you the moose ponds? And then of course, just on the other side of the ponds, the trail does climb up to connect with the Ginny Lake Loop. So it's not like you don't get a good view. And you're also right next to it before you head up. So don't worry if you can't like see it through the trees. You're gonna get up closer to it and you will get a good view of it. It is a really pretty spot and we are almost to that point. Okay, so this is the Moose Ponds, and that is Teton, high above. Really beautiful spot, and great place to relax. Nice, short, easy hike. The only real elevation change is coming right now, so you can do this counterclockwise to get that out of the way first. But it's not really that significant. It's just a short 100 maybe yards up a small hill to connect up with the Ginny Lake Loop, which I'm headed up now. Currently on the Ginny Lake Loop, the little portion that shares with it. It's only about 1/10 of a mile, so you head down from whichever direction you're going and you look for the sign pointing you back on the Moose Ponds Trail. Obviously the trail's a little wet from the storm. It's not always this puddly and wet. It's usually pretty dry and easily travelable, traversable, whatever. But anyway, that is the Moose Ponds Loop. Short, easy, not a whole lot to it. Beautiful ponds, beautiful views, sometimes some wildlife. So be sure to check it out. If you want a written description, that is down in the link, down in the comments below, down in the description below. If you have any questions or comments, you can leave them down in the comments below. And please like and subscribe. It makes a world of difference to me, and I appreciate every little bit of it. And until next time, thanks for watching. Happy trails.